Hey, what's going on, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you some information about my upcoming 7-day shadow healing journey. And what is that, you might be wondering? Well, it's 7 days of live interactive online coaching with me and some special guests I'll be bringing on to help you get a good amount of what people call shadow healing done in a short span of time. And the reason I'm doing this is because so many people right now, and you can let me know in the comments if this is you, but they feel this sense that 2022 is going to be a big pivotal year, where it's almost like life, the whole, if you will, is asking people like you to truly, in kind of a big way, step into your power and step into your purpose. And this is going to play out individually for all of you, but a lot of you probably feel very called to do something, a way of contributing to the whole, a way of really committing to your authentic self in a bolder way than maybe you've ever even considered. And yet, I know from my own experience, this type of endeavor, this path can evoke a lot of emotions, a lot of unresolved issues, doubts, insecurities, traumas, very deeply rooted core wound type of stuff tends to flail up wildly as you feel called to take this path. And it makes it seem like, dude, higher self, I feel excited to do this thing. Why do I feel so blocked, so fragile, so taken over at times by my insecure little inner child? And it's just part of it. It's part of it. The more you commit to your path, the more healing will be asked of you. And this is something I went through back in 2016. And it was a very messy, lengthy, uncomfortable process, which is why I'm doing this. Because that healing is gonna get done one way or another, my friend. But what I did is I didn't have the tools. I didn't have ceremonies to go to where I felt safe and supported to really let go and let the energy leave my system. So it played out in my life. It manifested in problems that in the end turned into learning lessons, yes, but it was a very uncomfortable and again, lengthy process. And my goal, I have a very strong inspiration to do this because a lot of you I know are ready to rock and roll and are feeling weighed down by your blocks. And I know for a fact that 7 days can literally change your life and help you really let go of that weight that may have been holding you back for a long time. So you can not only go forward more consistently in a more productive manner, but in a state of joy where you're actually able to enjoy this purpose path that is now unfolding for you. So that sounds like you in any way, I'm going to share with you now precisely what we're going to be doing in the next 7 days. And then you can decide if it's something that sounds like a good fit for you. And if so, at the end of the video, I'll tell you how to go about signing up. And just to preface this, all of these different ceremonies are things I've done many, many times through my group coaching programs. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is a QHHT inspired past life regression. Now, you don't have to necessarily buy into the whole idea of past lives. It's more of a very powerful hypnosis technique developed by a woman named Dolores Cannon, who I was trained under. Not literally, she's deceased, but I took her program and I'm a certified QHHT practitioner. And anyway, the modality helps you really bypass the logical thinking mind and access the subconscious in a very lucid, clear way. And when you can really start to become aware of like the deep roots of many of your life complications, that awareness can be so bright, if you will, that you can have a lot of miraculous healing and transformation with this modality. It's been done on thousands upon thousands of people. It's a technique that's been perfected over a span of decades, and it's something that has literally changed my life. Back in a long time ago, back in 2016 actually, I felt compelled to get a past life regression. At that point, I didn't really even know what it was. I had an idea, of course, but I didn't know much about it. And when I went, I was literally blown away at how much healing I was able to accomplish in like an hour and a half time. I walked out of that office feeling like a floating bubble of light, literally. I felt like pure energy just floating around because I felt so light. This is a profound healing modality. And then what we're gonna do is the next day, the very next day, we're gonna be taking you through a somatic release breathwork ceremony. What this can do, the past life regression sometimes can bring you very deep, but some people feel a little bit unresolved, even though they're aware of how they tick, why they tick, some of their life themes, they might still feel energetically kind of bound up. And the somatic release breathwork ceremony is a phenomenal opportunity to really like purge out that energy. And I find as a coach, I've done this many, many times, that pairing these two things together, it works. It really is unspeakably transformative. It's mind-blowing. But anyway, this breathwork ceremony is a modality created by a guy named Stephen Jaggers, my instructor, and it helps you really use a very simple breathing technique to get into the physical aspect of your traumas, of your unresolved issues, and actually not just become aware of it like this, but purge it out, cry it out, yell it out. These are absolutely life-changing. I run them at my retreats. I do them with my group coaching, and this in and of itself can heal you of lifetimes of trauma. Day 3 is gonna be a rose ceremony. This is something my wife Pattie is gonna do. She has a very special connection, believe it or not, with the plant rose. And she's able to evoke and connect with and tap into the consciousness of the rose plant. She'll tell you, Pattie will tell you, all plants are alive, literally, and they are aware. And they're conscious. And not only are they conscious, but they're actually quite brilliant, quite tapped in. And when you can learn to connect with them, they can really be a phenomenal teacher and healer for you. And she does this beautiful ceremony. She does these also at my retreats, and she's done this many times, where she uses the rose energy and helps you tap into the rose energy. And the rose energy, what is that good for? All the plants kind of have a specialty, as Pattie would say. And she says rose is amazing for self-love. Not the type of self-love that you just say, real self-love. Real self-love, which requires real self-acceptance, both of your flower, your light, and also your shadow, your thorns. Pattie says the rose, blossoms and sports herself proudly, and her thorn. She's not ashamed of her thorn. She doesn't hide the thorn. She knows her thorns, her shadow, is a part of who she is. It's a part of her beauty. So Pattie will help you come to a very much deeper, not so much Pattie, but just a ceremony, really. She'll always credit Rose for it. But people go through these ceremonies and have a very deep level of self-acceptance, and which that translates into self-love. And when you really start to love yourself more, your whole life changes. On day 4, we're gonna do a relationship healing workshop. This is something that is powerful because, as most of you know, relationships tend to be oftentimes our greatest teachers and our biggest triggers. I've been married for 15 years, and to this day, Pattie has a way of bringing to the surface my inner, darkest, most childlike type of wounds like nothing else can do. My fear of love, my fear of abandonment, my lack of worthiness, all those deep things, those real deep core issues, Pattie, without even trying, brings them up. And for you, it might not be a spouse, it might be a parent, it might be a friend, it could be a coworker, but having tools to help you move through a lot of the themes being brought to your awareness from your relationships can really help you simply look around your life, and there's already reflections of something that can be healed within you right now. And that's the purpose of this relationship healing workshop. That'll be run by me and maybe Pattie as well. Day 5 is going to be a forgiveness workshop. More specifically, a self-forgiveness workshop. This is something I didn't used to do, but after coaching so many people over the years, I started to realize that oftentimes one of the biggest things holding someone back, it's like a lot of people, they push away the things they want. They say, I want this, and when it comes, they push it away. Why? Out of guilt. They don't believe they deserve it. Why? because they're holding on to something. They haven't forgiven themselves for something. I've never met a single person not carrying something like that. An example for me, when, I don't know how long ago, about 5, 7, 8 years ago, I had a dog that I loved very much. His name was Maynard, and I trained him very well. And one day, when he was about 6 years old, he attacked my 3-year-old daughter, Maya. And he was a pit bull terrier, and it could have been extremely bad. It was fine and everything, but I held on to that. I held on to the fact that it was your dog, Victor, and you almost let your daughter get seriously injured. And it was very hard for me to forgive myself for a long time, until I literally did. There's this thing I did on myself. I got from one of the Toltec teachers, Don Miguel Ruiz, one of those guys, one of their books I read, and I went into this particular workshop, like a sort of exercise, and I did it for myself. And that was the first time I was able to finally let go and forgive myself and say, Victor, you just did your best. And I actually felt myself release that energy, release that weight, that guilt. And then I stopped pushing the blessings away in my life. It was very transformative. So that's something we're going to be doing on day 5. Day 6, because what we're doing, guys, this is a lot. This is a ton of profound, deep shadow work. And I don't want to leave you all cracked open and fragile. So what we're going to do, in day 6, I'm bringing in my personal shadow work coach. He's a specialist. His name is Doug, and he's a double PhD. He specializes with Carl Jung, psychology, and he literally has helped me so much. And when I started working with him a couple of years ago, I had been doing a ton of shadow work around that time. For about a few years, I was doing a lot of plant medicine and breath work and past life, doing all this stuff basically. But I felt like I had almost brought about too much healing in myself, and I was feeling kind of unbalanced and just sort of, unbalanced is the best way I could put it. And he just has not only a way about him, he's like a Zen guy too. He's really got a beautiful energy, but he's an expert on a very educational level and just an experiential level in a way that I've never met another therapist type person like Doug. And he was able to really help me ground myself and find my center within the storm and not let my healing run away with me. So I learned to actually not only stay balanced, but also heal more and heal faster, because I can now truly embody that kind of witness mentality. And anyway, he just has some different techniques, very simple but very effective techniques he'll help you with here on day 6 to help you, come out of this feeling not just cracked open, like I said, but feeling like integrated, embodied. So you're actually experiencing the results of all this profound work you've done. And then on day 7, you're back with me. I call it channeled goal setting. What happens every time when you clear a lot, you become clear. And as you start to get towards the end of the week, you're going to find yourself probably on fire with downloads, inspirations, because there's so much of your old identity, the old self, the shadow that's now gone. There's all this space where the new can start to come in. And it's a phenomenal time to get that those downloads out, down on paper in a tangible way where you can start taking action and creating a new life from the vantage point of a new you. So that's how we're gonna finish this off. So normally, my friends, to do all this stuff, it would require you to coach with me. And I used to charge $1,500 to coach with me, which is actually pretty cheap considering, it was 3 months with me in my group to do this. But because I don't do coaching anymore, I'm offering this 7-day challenge for a teeny little fraction of the price if you want to join. There's a link down below. You can click it and learn a lot more information, and you can sign up very easily. It starts on April 11th, but if you join right now, if you join today, there are 3 additional bonuses you get if you sign up. So anyway, my friends, if that interests you, feel free to click that link down below. I'll also leave a card up here. I'd hope to see you in there. It's a phenomenal time, and one of the most beautiful things is this. It's like all these modalities, they're powerful. They really are. They've changed my life, and I've witnessed them literally change other people's lives. But what really makes this 7-day process so powerful is people like you showing up, willing to do the work. There's a group synergy that I've seen at my retreats. I've seen it with these challenges. I've seen it with group coaching that transcends anything I can say or do. It transcends these modalities, and it's like we come together and our intentions synergize and creates this, what do you call it? Like a container where there's so much potential for healing and transformation in a very short span of time. Okay, so anyways, my friends, I'm pumped up about it, obviously. I cannot wait. Again, if you're interested, link down below. With that said, have an amazing day, my friends. I'll see you soon. Much love to you all. Peace.